Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of 30 Minutes, the interactive program of Trust Television. I'm Manir Dan Ali. My guest today is Dr. Oluwasina Benga Adebanji, the former executive director and chief executive of Lake Chad Research Institute. He's someone who has been closely associated with the growth and the cultivation of wheat in Nigeria for so many decades. And he's here to tell us, among other things, why Nigeria has not yet cracked it, why Nigeria is still spending billions of dollars to import the wheat that all the bread, all the pasta, all the spaghetti and the biscuits we eat in Nigeria are made of. Doctor, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure having me. And
I do hope that you will be able to tell us why, for example, in spite of the best effort of the Babangida administration in the 1980s with the accelerated wheat development program, in spite of the effort of the former agric minister and current president of the African Development Bank, when he was here as the minister, wheat is still not grown in enough quantities. It's just maybe 1/10 at best of what we require that Nigeria is able to grow. Is it just the problem of Nigeria not being a temperate country, not having the right climate?
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure being here today to discuss about wheat production in Nigeria. As you are aware, wheat is a strategic commodity for food security, owing to its high import bill. That is one. Two, low production of the wheat, and also poor adoption of recommended practices by our farmers. Yes, successful governments in this country had attempted several strategies for wheat development in this country for self-sufficiency. As you rightly said, during the time of President Babangida, he saw the vision that Nigeria is capable of being self-sufficient in wheat production. And that made him to intervene by establishing what we call accelerated wheat production program.
And they built all these dams all over the country
in 1987.
Yes.
He did that because of the infrastructures that were on ground to make Nigeria to be self-sufficient. We have 12 river basin development authorities. We have irrigation dams. We have fadamas. And not only that, we have about 1.2 million hectares of land.
So what is the missing link?
Suitable for wheat production. But as of today, we are less than 8% self-sufficiency in wheat production. These are the missing links. One, inconsistent government policy in the agricultural sector. Just as I mentioned, yes, during President Babangida's period, our national production, annual national production, was about 50,000 metric tons. But within that period of the program, within 4 years, our national wheat production rose to 450,000 metric tons.
That is almost
you can imagine
5 or more times.
Yes. Many states key into wheat production, and production escalated. Unfortunately, due to pressure from the Western world, the same government that banned the importation of wheat for self-sufficiency lifted the ban.
So it's like that so-called wheat trap, because there are some scholars
that
studied it and called it the wheat trap.
It was the wheat trap.
Yes.
That's what caused that.
Can you explain what the wheat trap is to...
Well, it's political. As I always say, wheat is a political crop, both internationally and nationally. Even in Nigeria, we have some challenges politically on wheat production. But without
is it because it can only largely be grown in a particular part of the country, in the northern part, that people maybe elsewhere may think, why are you giving undue advantage to one area?
No. You know, during the accelerated wheat production program, there were so many states that showed interest in wheat production, even in the south. I was in Oyo State, and I saw them claiming to produce wheat. And I told them, no, you cannot produce wheat here because the climate is not suitable for it. You need to focus on crops you have comparative advantage on. And that's it, because they were watering the wheat with a watering can. How can you talk of wheat production with a watering can and be able to get good yield? It's not possible. So it is not that. The issue is, as at that time, some Nigerians were interested in importing this wheat to the country, draining our foreign reserves.
But they still seem interested in that. I mean, all the big companies that are into the business of flour, of
they were the ones, they were the bottlenecks for wheat self-sufficiency as at that time.
What of now?
Oh, no.
Not anymore?
No more. I will tell you reasons. Now, from there, let me give you the trend of the wheat production in Nigeria.
Yes.
From the Babangida regime that you have seen, that yes, there was that ability, capacity to be self-sufficient in wheat production. It was not in doubt. But because of that policy somersault, we went back. Then we had another agric minister that was so passionate about wheat in Nigeria, looking at the resources available to us in Nigeria. The land is there, water resources, human resources, we all have it. Even the climate, you said wheat is a temperate crop. Yes, it is a temperate crop. But research has developed heat-tolerant varieties that can thrive in the tropical countries like Nigeria. And now let me tell you, even presently, like last season, a wheat farmer from Jigawa got 7 tons per hectare. We have developed improved varieties that are resilient to climate change.
But are you communicating enough to the farmers? Because at the end of the day, unless you connect with the farmers, all this will be at the level of research and in some labs.
Yes. Now, you see, there is one thing in the value chain. You know, we are talking of value chain now, whereby you have all the actors in the value chain. You have the producer, who are the farmers. And these farmers have been organized into associations. We have Wheat Farmers Association of Nigeria. We have Wheat Farmers Processor, Marketers of Nigeria. They are there. And there's another association that is coming on board now. So we integrate all the actors into the value chain. That's the producer. Then we have the consumers, who are before the consumers, we have to processors. The Flour Mill Association of Nigeria, they are there.
The off-takers of whatever is produced.
Yes. Then we have the bakers. Then we have Nigerians that are consuming it.
But where were the off-takers when, for example, in Jibia, Katsina State, there is a big dam?
Yeah.
Some years back, they were convinced to grow a lot of wheat, and at the end of the day, there were no off-takers, and they were like left with the wheat.
Yes, actually, I told you it was a political crop. I remember that time it was published in the newspaper. My former minister, Dr. Oluwasina, because that time I was also the team leader of wheat value chain in this country, my attention was drawn to that paper publication. And the same people in Jibia that said we did not buy their wheat because that time the government bought all the wheat, not even the off-takers. The government bought them. Nigerian government.
But I'm aware, I grew wheat and I couldn't sell it.
We went and bought. But the issue is this. The issue is still happening today. Our farmers, they are very smart in the sense that they like to hold their wheat for more profit. Immediately they harvest. Some farmers, at least commercial farmers, those that are really strong
Big, yes.
in commercial farmers, they will like to retain their produce for some time.
Probably because the price is not good enough for them to recover their cost.
Yes, as at that time, look at the cost of wheat in those days. It was 12,000 per 100 kg bag. But today we are talking of 40,000 per 100 kg bag. Even right now, some of our farmers that were empowered through the CBN Agro program, we are having difficulty in their loan recovery. Why? Because they were holding it with the aim that, okay, since the price has gone up in the traditional market, it has to also go up in the local market. So they are holding it, thinking that this bag of wheat will even rise to 50,000 per bag.
Isn't there a minimum price guarantee for this? Because when government is pumping so much money and paying so much attention, the farmers are not stupid. They wouldn't want to sell at a loss as well. So isn't there a minimum guaranteed price?
Fortunately, you see, under the CBN Anchor program, they prepared economics of production, which was well discussed with the stakeholders, particularly the Wheat Farmers Association. In that economics of production, you know your selling price of 100 kg. And I tell you, like, for example, for last season, the cost of production was 377,400 cost of production. Then,
that's per hectare.
Per hectare.
Right.
A farmer, a good farmer, that got 3 tons per hectare, averagely, 3 tons per hectare, put it, because that time we envisaged for about 30,000 per bag, 100 kg bag.
Right.
30,000. That's 900,000. That's 900,000 per hectare.
But what
Remove
happens,
your cost of production.
What happens when in air like this, diesel suddenly went up and you use diesel to power your watering machines?
I'm coming to that, sir. Even despite all that, 900 minus 400,000. 900,000 minus 400,000. You
that
still
is
have 500,000. Just for miscellaneous, put 100,000. Then a farmer has about 400,000 per hectare in 4 months.
But that is in the books. That is when you do the calculations, but the farmers are there living it in reality. I have seen farmers in, say, Kebbi State, who had to abandon their farms in the middle of the growing season because the price of petrol with which they used to power their pumps have suddenly gone up, and they did the calculation. It doesn't make sense to continue.
Thank you, sir. You know why? Our farmers are still taking agriculture as a subsistence program.
No, they are thinking of it as business.
No,
because if it doesn't pay its way,
excuse me, sir.
Why
no. They don't see it as a business. It's now we are trying to educate them that farming should be taken as a business. No, let me tell you, you are a civil servant. You come to office, whether fuel has gone to 300 naira per liter, are you telling me you will not come or you abandon your vehicle? No. No. You see, we had a Zoom meeting under the CBN Agro program, and a farmer was telling us if he was not given a water pump, that he will not grow the wheat. Who is losing?
That may not be sensible.
Who is
but
losing?
Most farmers, are very practical people.
Excuse me, no. They are practical. They have been cultivating this wheat over the years. That is their profession.
Yes.
They should take it as their profession.
But not when they are losing.
They're not losing. Some of them are not faithful. They're not losing. I'm telling you, we have developed improved variety that can give farmers at least 4 tons per hectare. But let me take it minimally.
Are these seeds available?
Yeah.
Are these seeds, these improved seeds, are they available easily, or is it just to some elite farmers?
Yes. Let me tell you. Last season.
Yes.
We have to appreciate the federal government of Nigeria, to our president, that gave directives to CBN on this Anchor Bora program. CBN brought 13,000 metric tons of wheat seed to this country. Improved wheat seed, bullock. That's a farmer got 7 tons per hectare now. Our farmers, some, not all, some farmers were given this improved variety seed. They did not plant.
I saw that some of it ended up in the market, and people were washing.
Even sold to other people, other farmers. They didn't plant it. They prefer to plant their own saved seed that will give them 1.5 tons per hectare or less. You know, you give farmers fertilizer, apply 8 bags or 6 bags of NPK, 3 bags of urea, 9 bags of fertilizer, and the farmer is given. But if we apply 2 bags of NPK, 2 bags of urea, and the rest sold, we want him to get good yield.
So there are issues even in terms of the cultural practices.
We have to change the psyche of our farmers, and that is what this document has already programmed in.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I think at this point, it's a very good time for us to go on a short break and resume the discussion when we come back. Welcome back. It is still 30 minutes, the interactive program of Trust Television. Our guest today is Dr. Oluwasina Benga Olabanji, a specialist on wheat production in Nigeria. Doctor, before we went on the break, you were kind of blaming the cultural attitude of farmers for some of the problems. But away from the farmers, let's come back to the policy and also what the government is doing. I understand that the Central Bank of Nigeria, under the Anchor Borrowers program, has imported some improved seeds, which have been further improved and tested by our own research bodies in Nigeria. And the good news is they do very well in Nigeria. And how well in terms of tonnage per hectare?
Thank you so much, sir. Just as I mentioned, there are some challenges in the wheat value chain. And some of these challenges are: 1, inadequate quality seed. Inadequate quality seed that our farmer could use and get up to 5 to 6 tons per hectare.
Instead of the many per hectare now?
Well, instead of 1.5 to 2 tons per hectare. I tell you, in Mexico, Egypt, they are getting 8 tons per hectare.
Because the climate is right and they have the correct seeds as well.
They have the good quality seed. That's why CBN brought this particular seed from CBN. That's the bullock, named after the father of wheat globally. This variety has been tested, and now it is widespread, popularly grown by our wheat farmers. The average yield farmers got was 3 tons per hectare. Good farmers got 5, 6, and 7 tons per hectare, just as I mentioned the one of. And it is not only the yield that matters most.
It is the quality
in the wheat production.
Right.
The quality of the flour and the baking.
Right.
This variety has been tested by Flour Milling Association of Nigeria. It has been very outstanding among all our wheat varieties.
I know in the past, part of the discouragement that the flour millers used to raise is that, look, this is not good for baking.
Yes. In fact, that was what led to the complete lifting of the ban on wheat importation, because the flour milling then were saying, oh, Nigeria wheat is inferior to imported wheat. It has very low gluten, very low protein. The bread could not rise. And this. Yes, it was true. Because as at that time, we were using all these cetosterols. You must have heard of cetosterols. Right. Yes. But now, because of that challenge, research took it upon itself to develop varieties that are good for milling and baking. And we have this Attila you mentioned. They have tested it. Flour milling as well have tested it. It's very good. Normal, Imam, Pastor. Then you also have this Bullock.
So you even have a balance in terms of the seats. When you have an Imam, you also have a pastor. So that somebody will not come
we are not biased.
Some religion.
Yeah, no.
And
you don't really
discourage.
You know, I told you it's
yes.
a political crop.
Yes.
But it is very coincidental in the sense that Imam came from Sudan.
Right.
It's a very good variety. It's our Attila 7.
Right.
Attila 7. Just the same family with our Attila Gan Attila.
Right.
Then we have Pastor. All these materials are materials we got through germplasm exchange from CIMIT and ICADA, because the Lecture Research Institute, we collaborate with international research centers like right. ICADA and the CIMIT. These are the research centers that have the global genetic improvement of wheat production in the whole world.
So have you made enough arrangement to ensure that the farmers who are interested in wheat growing can get this improved seeds at ease?
They will get it at ease with this development. Now, let me also quickly tell you something about the trend. Now, you know, after that Babangida era, right. you talk of agricultural transformation agenda.
Agenda of the Jonathan administration.
Because of that lifting of the ban on wheat production, most of our farmers abandoned wheat production because some of them went into liquidation. They were bankrupt. They produced the wheat, they could not sell. There was no market. But as a result of this agricultural transformation agenda, with all the paraphernalia that the government attached to it, like the e-wallet, our farmers were able to access inputs with ease. Mechanization was also somehow upscaled, you know. So now the marketers, who are the Flour Milling Association of Nigeria, we were able to convince them, because when I was in there, I gave them 100 kg of these elite materials, elite wheat varieties, to test. They tested it, and were invited to CBN for a dialogue. We all agreed, yes, Nigeria wheat is now good. Good for milling, good for baking. And that was how our annual wheat production rose from 70,000 metric tons to 350,000 metric tons.
Where is it now? Very briefly, where is it now?
It is now on 71,000. Again,
back to the low level.
Yes.
And you are making all these efforts to improve it. And I see that you are talking of even rain-fed growing in the Mambila, in Obudu, and other highland areas.
That is why I'm convinced that Nigeria can be self-sufficient in wheat production, because we have the potentials to grow wheat under two conditions, under irrigated conditions and rain-fed conditions. Irrigated conditions, we have 15 states. 15 states, northeast, northwest, and north central, that are wheat-growing states now. 15. Then we have 3 states for rain-fed wheat. Gembu in Mambila Plateau, Taraba State, Jos in Plateau, and Obudu in Cross River State.
And have you tested all of these places?
We have tested. Lake Chad has we have a station in Gembu, and just last year we embarked on rain-fed wheat production, commercial, by CBN. CBN initiated that.
Did the Ukraine-Russia crisis prompt more urgency into this? Because as we can see now, wheat has become a very big problem in terms of importation, which is why globally, even locally here in Abuja, I know bread of 300 is now 1,000 naira.
Yes, thank you, sir. You know, yes, we have to thank Africa Development Bank. In fact, this is not the first time they have been intervening in our wheat value chain. During the agricultural transformation agenda, we had 2 projects funded by Africa Development Bank. And these are the SAD-SC project and TAT. Yes, we made progress. And that's why our national production rose to that 350,000 metric tons. And we were able to release 6 varieties during that period. 6 wheat varieties. 4 irrigated wheat and 2 rain-fed wheat. Now, to come to your point, yes, the Ukraine and Russia war is a blessing in disguise to Africa continent, because Africa is an imported country, importing all kinds of things, particularly food crops.
And now we've woken up.
That we have the potential to produce. We have the land in Africa that even those people in the developed world, they don't have as much land area we had.
But this has always been there. So don't you think those political inconsistencies, ban, no ban, and all the pressure of the wheat lobby will still affect? And at the end of the 2 years, 3 years down the line, we will still be where we are.
Because of global food crisis, AFDB, in his own wisdom, decided to salvage this food crisis in Africa by giving African countries budget support. Budget support. For which about 23 countries are participating in this intervention of the AFDB.
And you think this is enough to crack the problem that has been there since Babangida's time?
You know, when you are given fund like that, and you throw away the fund like that without any focus or whatever, it will not achieve its aim. But AFDB said, for instance, in Nigeria, before we give this support, Nigeria government must develop national strategy for wheat self-sufficiency. So there was an agreement, collaboration and agreement between Federal Ministry of Agriculture and AFDB.
So, and that's document
to develop
is what you have right
to
here.
develop this strategy document.
Right.
Now, this
but implementing it is another.
I'm coming to that. This strategy document aim at sustainably increasing local production, competitiveness in our local wheat production.
On that note, I think we have to come to the end of this program because we have been reminded that we have run out of time. But probably, Doctor, you will have to come one more time and maybe briefly round up on the matter.
Okay, but can I say that on the implementation, this strategy is given us a focus, is directing the activities of the entire project. And in this document, we had also highlighted priority areas that needs intervention. And also, there's going to be a national coordinating committee under the leadership of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture. All the commissioners in the Ministry of Agriculture from the states are members of that committee. Other partners, water resources, Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, FMAN, all are members of that coordinating committee. And this committee is going to supervise the implementation of this project.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We are very grateful for the elucidation and all the details that you've given us regarding the efforts to rejuvenate wheat production in Nigeria once again.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
Viewers, we've come to the end of this edition of 30 Minutes.